What's up? It's your boy Jordan Boxx with another episode of In the Box. Today in the box I got my man ReezyTunez, one of the greatest producers I know. Y'all better watch out, but you about to see what he do, what he's about, and where he come from. So stay tuned. We in the box.
I am originally born from Denver, Colorado. Outside of there is a little small city called Aurora, Colorado. I was born there and moved out of there at the year 96 to Dallas. So I've been raised in Dallas, Texas. Small little city called Capel. I went to school out there and eventually moved out to Frisco. So I've been close around. It's near at least the Irving side area. How long I started producing? I started at the age of 13, 12 to 13 years old. How I started producing, my brother, he was in his, I think, first or second year of college, and he had a Dell computer, and he came home one day and he was like, you know, bro, I can make music off my computer. So I was like, nah, you know, and he would play some samples of him recording to instrumentals. His favorite instrumentals like Biggie Smalls, Eminem, and all that. And I was like, okay, that's cool. But then when he came back the following semester to come back and visit, he found out how he can actually make music, like pull out a keyboard, do the programming, playing the synths and everything. And when I saw him pull up, he came out with an album. I will never forget it. It's called Symbiosis or something like that. And he started playing the songs, and I was like, you made this? You made this? And then he's like, yeah. And like, let me show you. So he pulled up a whole session. And then from that day, I was just blown away how he took like little simple melodies and riffs and little drum patterns and made his own music, and then on top of that recorded vocals to it. So from there I was hooked. I was blown away. I usually hate this question because I can't really describe my style of music. I usually label it like a genre bending. The reason why is because I always try to study all types of music, and I take elements from that and just put it together, but I make it like, how would Reezy approach everything? For an example, if I were to do country music, it wouldn't sound like country music. I would make it sound something refreshing, something new, but it would have country elements. So, you know, you could still hear that Carrie Underwood singing on there, or, you know, any other those big country artists that are willing to cross over a little bit to the urban side. Describe myself in 5 words. Adjectives, I would have to say driven, innovative, unique, different, man, I mean, that really sums it all. But at least if I had to think 2 more, I don't know, I guess that's basically it. Usually that would really sum up everything about at least me as a person and my productions. I think the hip hop, where it's going as far as in the future, I think it's going in the right direction now. You know, there's a difference between hip hop and rap. A lot of people put them together. To me, I define hip hop as it has a concept, it's a story, it has a direction as far as in music. Rap is just how you kind of feeling at the moment, you know, feeling good in the club, you know, stuff like that. I think hip hop is more like a story. It's more of a struggle, a hustle you want to rap about, or let's just say rhyme about. But as far as where it's going, I feel like it's going back to its roots. It did kind of fade down a little bit, but I think now that these new artists that are coming up like Kendrick Lamar, Jay Electronica. I don't know if a lot of people listen to him. He's also out for Rock Nation. The whole TDE movement, they started this movement of actually telling a story on an album, and I think a lot of people are more drawn to that than to just having hit records. So it feels good, and I really like where it's going. What motivates me? In everything, I would have to say my wife, Tina. She's always been there. She's been there even before everything really started taking off for me. And of course, she's blessed me with a beautiful daughter, Kennedy. They really drive me with my music. At any time, if I'm down as far as like trying to get ideas or inspiration, I always think of them. I spend time with them. I try to at least, hang with family with them outside of the music, so I'm not constantly thinking about that, because I feel like inspiration comes when you're not really thinking too hard about music. It just sporadically like hits you, and usually those are like your best music. So I would have to say my wife, my daughter, and I would have to say for sure my brother. Another reason why is because he introduced me to this. If it wasn't for him actually taking the time and showing me at first how he made records, like he didn't show me directly, he told me, figure it out yourself, because I did. And I think because of that and that mindset, I had that drilled in my head, knowing that this is something I really want to do, but I need to do it by myself so I can be my own original sound. As cliche as it sounds, but every producer wants to win a Grammy. That is the ultimate goal. But for me, I would say, even as of right now, if I was even recognized for my music and nominated for a Grammy, I think I would feel like the biggest winner then and there. Being nominated for something like that in a high caliber for music is one of the, I can't even describe how it would feel, but for sure the ultimate goal is to win a Grammy or being nominated for a Grammy. I think then I would realize that's great. But as of right now, hopefully I try to break down goals by the year, and I limit it down to at least get a placement. I think once I get a placement and people start to recognize the direction of where I'm going as far as my sound, that would be the ultimate blessing right there. Where do I see myself in 5 years? I see myself really grasping and enjoying life, being a great role model for my daughter and for my wife, set an example also for other for anybody who is striving for their dreams, who is never given up, who's been told no, they couldn't do something. I want to be that person that they can look up to and know, okay, I can do this. But as far as like seeing myself in 5 years, I see myself producing, making timeless music with artists from across the world, and yeah, that just being my 9 to 5. Man, if I wasn't producing, what I would be doing is probably playing basketball. That was my first passion and love. I think I had to come to realization right after I graduated high school, knowing that basketball was very competitive, and the skills that I had, it was good, but it wasn't great. And knowing to be great, to play at a college anywhere, you had to be great in high school. I was good, but not great. So I tried my hardest to at least go to a community college, go that route and try out. Of course, fortunately, I didn't make the team, but I realized that, music was another thing that I had that a lot of people, overlooked basketball for me and said, hey, maybe this music thing is for you. So. How would I change the world? I would change it I would change it at first. Start with my music. Like I would try to show an example that it's okay to be yourself. It's okay to be different. You don't have to fit in. All my life, at a young age, I tried to fit in a lot wherever I was, and I realized that life doesn't work that way. God has created us to be ourselves. You know what I mean? Everybody's unique. So I think something like that. I want people, when they hear my music, they hear something different. They hear something refreshing. It makes them feel good. It makes them want to dance. It makes them feel emotionally connected. So at least I would want to connect with people's lives and make innovative and long-lasting music. Oh man, my biggest fear, and usually this is hard to talk about, but my biggest fear is to see my whole family fail. Failure is a very scary thing, but also at the same time, I always look at failure as a time to take steps back, take notes, and see how you can succeed. I think every successful person has had to fail a couple of times for them to actually be who they are today. But of course, going through the failing process, that's one of the fears of just going through them and actually having my family. How would I spend $1 million? Well, I would first give 10% to Lord.
Amen.
I would for sure do that. I feel like, God is always the motive. I always put him first in everything. I would pay off my debt, any kind of debt I have. Forget you, Sally Mae. Forget you, credit card bills. I would pay you off, and then I would also, obviously, $1 million is a lot, so I know I would do a lot. I would make sure I give back to my parents, and for sure I'd have money for my own family. And then for like Tina and Kennedy, I would make sure I would want the best education for Kennedy, and of course I would want the best for my wife, and best for my family. So at least I would give it all to them before I even think about even spending or anything. So that's just the person I am. I want to make sure that makes me feel like then I can live well, knowing that would be good. My last $20, man, how would I spend my last $20? Well, knowing me, my first instinct is probably like food. I would probably put it towards food. Usually I think in need though, so I'll be thinking like gas, a bill, whatever I need to pay off first, but for sure it would go straight to food. But if I had that all taken care of, usually I use it and invest it in like producing sounds and try to find new drum kits or something like that. That's my toys for me. But other than that, yeah, that's it. I would spend my last 24 hours with family. I would spend that time actually. I'm a very religious person, so I'll spend time with the Lord for sure, thanking him for the time I had on earth. And I would probably spend a lot of time probably giving. I want people to remember me. What I have planned in the new future, I've teamed up with a label called Para Music Group. Did a little agreement with them. Shout out to Para Music Group. Hopefully they're finding a lot of opportunities for me as far as like being a producer in some sessions or some up and coming placement opportunities, which is good. As far as anything else, I'm currently still doing beat battles in Dallas area, doing showcasing a little bit too, just to get my stuff heard. I feel like knowing I live in Durant area, I need to be out there networking, getting out there, showing my sound and stuff. So I'll be doing those showcases, possibly going to seminars too. I'll be traveling to obviously New Orleans to Crown the Sound. Shout out to Definition DJs. Yeah, that's about it. I was looking forward to doing South by Southwest, but a short amount of time, and course, the funds. But that's something I'll look into do next year. And also probably possibly traveling out of Texas. I forgot to shout out to iStandard. I'll be in the Beast of the Beats. I would have to say 9 now. So that would be incredible. And like I said, it's all about just showcasing that sound. So you can find me at www.ReezyTunez.com. That's ReezyTunez. And to find me easily, you can Google me, ReezyTunez. Make sure it's one word with the Z, obviously. Twitter at ReezyTunez, Instagram at ReezyTunez. I'm on there all the time. Hit me up, shoot me a follow. And you can also find me there. Usually I like to upload whatever I'm doing, whatever, at least Instagram. You can follow me on my journey. So, hey, shout out to my man Jordan in the Boxx. It's a movement. Make sure you guys hit him up on his website.
That's me.
You already know.
Yeah. JordanBoxx.com. 2 X's.
2 X's.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. I just want to tell my man, appreciate it being in the Boxx, man.
Hey, man.
Good luck in the
appreciate
future,
it, man. Thank you very much.